Hi friends, I hope you all are doing amazingly well in your respective lives. Today, I, Kunal Nagpal, am feeling extremely honored to welcome you to this great forum. And my dear friends, in today's discussion, we are actually going to have a talk on exploring the basic concept of self, that is, to enhance our understanding of the concept of self and how to actually attain proper synchronization between mind and matter. We are also going to realize that both mind and matter need to work in synchronization with each other. They are not isolated concepts, and attaining a proper balance is actually very important when I talk about mind and matter. Technically speaking, matter can be regarded as a hardware, which is actually this body, which is formed by 5 elements of nature, that is matter. And mind is regarded as the software, which is a very important component of the soul, that is the self. And we often talk about the concepts like the maximization of self-esteem, self-morale, self-confidence, self-discipline, and then enhancing self-awareness with the proper realization of self. Now, my dear friends, are we actually aware of the concept of self? We are working very hard on the second terminology, whether it is confidence, awareness, esteem, morale, discipline. We are trying our level best to attain efficiency, focusing on the second terminology of these phrases. But the first terminology, that is the self, the basic understanding of the self is very important, because until and unless we are totally aware of the concept of self, the spirit, we cannot attain success in maximizing the confidence, that is the self-confidence, self-esteem, self-morale, and alike. So, this particular discussion has been devoted to understanding the concept of self, to understand the difference between the software operating through this hardware. That is, the difference between the software and the hardware. Then only we can attain the success with a proper balanced approach with the help of optimum utilization of the available resources. And then obviously self-discipline will come into picture. So, my dear friends, along with this, the concept of spirituality and materialism is also very important. Obviously, it is very much related to the concept of mind and matter. Spirituality is the software, that is, the concept of self, right? And materialism is the attainment in the outer world. Spirituality is connected to the attainment in the inner world, and materialism is connected to the attainment in the outer world. So, my dear friends, if one is fulfilled internally, if one is very healthy internally, obviously the health of this body and the health of the overall tasks I aspire to undertake in my outer world would obviously be successful and productive. So, spirituality is the first step, and materialism would automatically follow. The success in the materialistic world will automatically follow. So that's why it's an inside out approach, not outside in. If I'm contented within, if I am spiritually healthy, that is, if I am healthy, then obviously my outer world will automatically be healthy. This is totally technical and totally scientific and rational approach, which if one follows in one's life, automatically one would attain success. I would like all of you to pay utmost importance to the word which we use in our daily lives. I want to attain success. One can attain success if one does this particular thing. Now, who is this entity to whom we are targeting as one? That is the self I'm talking about. All of us are referring to that particular identity, that is the soul. So we need to be aware of that particular concept. Then only we can work extensively towards maximization of strengthening the prospects of that particular identity, that is self. And success would automatically follow in the outer world. So, my dear friends, let's try to explore the limitations of the scientific materialism. Actually, paradigms are very important. The word comes from the ancient Greek meaning shown beside. And a paradigm is actually a mental map or the framework that basically helps us interpret what is going on, whether in the laboratory or in life, and consequently guides our actions. The achievements of the scientific materialism as a mental map are all around us in terms of the detailed understanding of the material processes and technological advances, often harnessing the great physical power. Now, the limitations of the paradigm have actually become increasingly apparent. However, the current scientific theories and methods have been unable to account for the emergence of either life or consciousness, nor do they actually acknowledge the intertwined nature of matter and mind. That's what I actually discussed in the beginning of this particular discussion, that the concept of mind and the concept of matter are actually very much interrelated to each other. So we really need to be aware of their core understanding of the overall functionality. Then only we can work. Then only we can work accordingly to attain success in a holistic manner. So this is basically indicated by the branch of physics known as quantum mechanics, as well as by everyday experience, in which our thoughts can actually have an immediate and far-reaching impact on our physical functioning. And actually talking in terms of paradoxes, the scientific materialism's focus on external realities can also weaken the objectivity that it prizes so highly. The researchers also neglect their inner world when they become unaware of how much their mental and emotional needs are actually influencing their observations. That is, one is not actually aware of the inner wealth or the hidden treasures one has inside. And it's actually a great irony that one wishes to attain maximum level of success in the outer world without knowing the inner functionality, the inner mechanics of oneself. Then obviously it may lead to a roller coaster ride. Yes, you are hearing me right. Because if I'm not aware of the true purpose, of the true objective, then automatically I may head in the wrong direction. And obviously, the result of this we can see all around us, that is discontentment all around us. Maximum human beings are discontented because all of us are following the wrong approach. Most of us are working with an outside in approach. Rather, it should be inside out. First, I need to be contented. First, I need to fulfill the requirements of the inner health. Then only I can be healthy in terms of this body, or also in terms of the tasks I wish to pursue, whether it's the health of my personal life, personal relations, or professional life, or the professional endeavors I wish to undertake. So perhaps most damagingly, when our mental map tells us we are isolated lumps of matter fighting for the survival in a material world, it basically tends to make us forgetful of the consequences of our actions on the planet, its elements, and our own bodies, as well as on each other. Yes, my friends, it's actually the basic crux of the disharmony increasing on our planet. And it's actually intensifying with each passing day in each and every domain we can actually think of. So, I would like to introduce two basic terminologies here, the two basic phrases, that is soul consciousness and body consciousness. Soul consciousness is actually a phrase which helps us to understand the core mechanics for attaining success in the world we are surviving. When we really realize who we actually are, when we get aware of the software with which we are working, living, and sustaining on this planet, automatically the health of the hardware will be taken care in the best possible manner. And this is really the need of the hour. We have often heard of the terminology equilibrium. Equilibrium is a very important component in every phase of life we can think of, in every aspect we can think of. Attaining the balance, attaining the equilibrium with a contented mind, that is if we are in equilibrium within ourselves. If we are balanced within, then automatically everything will be in balance outside. So, we need to awaken our consciousness. Yes, these are the bodies with which we are operating, but who we actually are, we are the souls, and that is the consciousness of the soul. That is the soul consciousness with which we have to actually function and sustain. Then only we can incorporate the divine virtues which all of us actually long for, and we are searching for it in the outside world. This is actually very important, my dear friends. Now, after having developed the strong base of the understanding of this very important concept of self, that is, after getting the glimpse of the reality,